Hi friends, I met a parent today for my consultation session, and this one parent reminded me of so many other parents who come to me and who have concerns which are like too many. So, and somewhere, the parent found it really difficult to prioritize about what concern to address first, even with the help of a therapist. So, I wanted to talk about prioritizing our goals and deciding what is it that I want for my child at this moment. There may be a list of concerns. So, to give you an example, this parent who came to me today, her son, this it's very cold now. We are in December when I'm recording this video, and she stays in the north somewhere, and it's really cold. The boy is not going to wear anything on his head. He would not take comforters at night. He would walk bare feet on the cold floor and keep catching cold. He would always keep withdrawing, keep getting closed. He wouldn't allow anything, basically anyone, to touch him. He didn't allow anything that had full sleeves or full pants. So there were a lot of tactile issues that were there. In addition to that, this boy would also keep looking in between the fingers, through the spaces between the fingers. He would keep looking through combs. He would keep looking through things like mosquito nets, so those kinds of things. Anything that's like a netted thing, he would want to look through that particular thing. And he would keep moving his head like this all the time. He would keep moving his body all the time. So there was a lot of movement. He would not sit at one place for long. And with all of these things, to think of studying and focusing and sitting and learning was like really, really way far ahead. So she wanted me to help her out with the concerns that she spoke to me. And okay, I forgot to mention, so this boy also had feeding issues. He wouldn't eat everything. He would gag by looking at the food. He would also want only chips or only biscuits if he had an option. That's all that he would eat. And if he would not get that, he would skip his meals. He would not eat at all, to the point of losing weight. So there were a lot of concerns that she came to me with. And an added concern was that the boy is growing. He was around 5 years of age, and there were difficulties learning, sitting in a class. That's like definitely going to be there. And speech. So this boy was completely non-verbal, not talking, not speaking. So these were the big list of concerns that she had. And then came the other fact where it was really difficult for her to follow the home program, because if I give her the set of exercises that need to be done, then to be able to discipline your own self, to be able to sit and to be able to follow the tasks that are given is another important task that's was coming in her way. And to couple it up with, there were a lot of emotional aspects around, where it would be anything. There was no social support. And when she would work with her child, and if there was no, what you say, improvement, then there were taunts from family members that they're wasting money on therapy and that she should plan a second child. So what I'm trying to convey here is that there were a lot of things that were there for this particular parent, and she was not able to manage everything, and she wanted me to help her out with all of these. Now, why am I making this video and why am I sharing this example is because most parents like her come to me with a whole big list of concerns, and they expect me to give, which is absolutely fine because they come to me for help, but they expect me to give them all the exercises that can be done so that every concern can be worked upon. And then they get overwhelmed by so much information or by so many exercises that have to be followed up at home that they end up doing nothing, because there's so much. They just withdraw and the parent just closes down or falls sick. So, or they say that I feel like sleeping all the time. I don't have energy to do the tasks. So this is what typically happens. Now, what am I trying to convey by this video is, if you feel that you are in this kind of a situation, where you have so many things on your hand, so many things on your plate, and you don't know what to work upon, then it's very important that we first prioritize. We first be very clear out of all of these issues, which is the first main issue that I want to be worked upon, which is the second main issue that I want to be worked upon. So, in this parent's case, in this child's case for that matter, the main thing is that the child should be eating, he should be nourished. That is one main thing. Secondly, his tactile needs were so strong and he was so very sensitive that he was getting sick very often, and because of fever he would also get sick, he would get cold, and then he would get fever because he was not allowing those anything warm on his body. So if I had to work on it, I wouldn't work on other things in the first, like I would rather first target that he starts eating well, and that I work on the oral motor issues, or I work on the fact that I can do some exercises so that his oral motor issues get resolved. And that's what we would work upon. That is one. Second thing that I would want to do would be to work on the tactile issues, because he was not very comfortable with the tactile issues that were coming up. He was not aware that he was not comfortable, I would put it that way. He was oblivious because he was trying to manage his sensory issues so much that it was really difficult for him to be able to calm himself down. So the second most important thing in this child's case I would work on would be the tactile issues. And the third main thing that in this case I would work on would be the emotional well-being of the parent. So is the parent getting enough social support? If she's not getting enough social support, talking to the husband so that the husband could support her in any which ways, maybe taking a part of the exercise, or maybe just spending time together, or whatever that helps this parent to be able to cope with that phase. So they, there's this quote, they say you can eat an elephant one bite at a time. It's like you can eat, or you can learn anything in this world, but it's like one thing at a time. You can walk so many steps, but it's always one step at a time. So when I spoke to this parent today and I told her we would work only on tactile issues and we would work on oral motor so that he's okay with the sight of food, he can chew onto food. There was some specific chips that he would eat, or some specific biscuit only that he would eat, and apart from that there was no other way to nourish his body. So we wanted to work on that his repertoire of foods, that limited preferences that he had for food would expand, and that we could get him to eat more number of things. So what I'm trying to convey here in this particular video is we may have a lot of concerns and a lot of things that we want to work upon, but it would be a really good idea to break down those steps to prioritize what is it that I want in my child's case to improve first. Having known that this child was already 5 years old, it he needed some way to communicate what he was feeling. That's another important aspect that we wanted to work upon. It could be speech, it could be sign language, it could be pecs, any which ways by which the child could communicate. That was another major aspect that we worked upon. So what I'm trying to convey here is that it's a good idea to list down all your concerns. Very important. Check out if they are sensory, check out if they are behavior, check out what is not coming, what is not allowing me to be consistent with following a program. And you know what, there are other set of parents who come to me who are over systematic. You know what I mean by that is they don't take time for themselves. They're busy doing the exercises like a timetable. They've stuck it, very perfectionist. They'll tick out everything. Oh, this exercise done, that exercise done. It's excellent, it's wonderful, but it is not to be done at the cost of your own health and emotional well-being. So I know a lot of parents who do that, and they're not even bothered by how they are feeling. They say it's okay, I'll do it, it's okay, I'll do it, it's a struggle. That's their perspective, I respect it completely. But having said that, I feel it's a joy. It's those small little joys, those small little wins that are very important. So when parents come to me and they say, you know what, he's now trying 4 new things and he's eating 4 new foods, something big, we need to celebrate that. They say, you know what, now he is able, like, one parent, when I did my boost oral motor fine motor course, she started and I said, give me a goal, what do you want by the end of the course? So this parent said, if she eats noodles by herself, I would be very happy. And by the fourth goal, she said, by the fourth class, she said, my daughter is now eating noodles, I'm so happy, I've already achieved my goal, there are 5 more classes to go. What I'm trying to communicate is, these may look very small, they're very small achievements, but if we focus, first is we prioritize, and then we celebrate these small little achievements in our kids, then we are teaching our own selves to focus on what we've achieved. Otherwise, we're teaching ourselves, oh, this is a problem, that's a problem, this is a problem, that's a problem, this is a problem, that's a problem. So I'm teaching my mind to only and only and only and only focus on the problems that I have in my life. But if I just focus on, oh, you know what, today, I mean, I have parents who come to me and they say, he could sit for 7 minutes. Earlier, he was sitting only for 5 minutes. That's a big thing. So, what I'm trying to convey is, one is prioritize, second is celebrate, no matter how small, whatever that you've achieved, it's a great achievement. I remember one mother who came to me. So when she came to me and she was like, my child is not eating, my child is not talking, and we started working with this child, and the child started eating everything. Then she was like, yeah, that's good, it's okay, it's fine, I want him to start talking now, that's okay, that we've achieved. So I would be like, okay, let's work on that. And we would work on it, and this boy started talking, and he started speaking words for whatever that he wanted. He would say noodles or biggie or whatever. And I said, wow, did you see that your son has got that? He's able to say so many things. Around 100, I think, is what he could say. And this parent was like, okay, I know that he's eating. Yeah, he's also talking a few words. But he's not doing what other kids of his age are doing. So here I would say that, she did not appreciate, she did not even acknowledge that her child was making progress. And somewhere that energy is also picked up by the child. That is one. Secondly, we are teaching ourselves to focus on just the challenges. And thirdly, I think it's very, very, very important that we compare our child with his previous self, rather than comparing my child with other kids of his age. Like, these are some few things I feel we can work upon. Then that whole big list, some parents come to me and they're like, it'll take me half an hour to 45 minutes to just tell you concerns. There are so many of them. And I tell them, write it down and email it to me. Because, many a times these concerns are all linked to each other. You work on one and maybe 5 others get solved. It may happen that way. But what I'm trying to convey here is that if we choose, and it's a choice, it's difficult, it's really difficult, but it's a choice. If we choose to look at the changes or the positives or the achievements that my child has achieved, it would be much more faster. The progress would be much more faster. And if we could prioritize, we could have just a few exercises in a day. Of course, we want to do therapy, but that therapy time should not take away the balance. It shouldn't take away the balance, of play, work, family time, ADL, self-help skills, daily chores, helping with things at home. So what I'm trying to tell you is, therapy is important and it can be done at all times, but not just those exercises which are important. So when I give these few goals to parents and I say, okay, work on only this much, they're like, so do I do those animal walks? Do I give that deep pressure? Do I do this? And if I don't do that, then is it okay? Is it fine? Just ensure you're prioritizing. You're celebrating the small little things that you've achieved, and you're ensuring that your therapy is not eating up on the time that the child should spend doing self-help skills, play in nature, go out, so many of those. I hope this video helps you, because I really wanted to share this because I have a lot of parents who just come to me with these concerns. Thank you.